Well, good morning and welcome to day 31 of 30 triathlons in 30 days, which means I'm not doing a triathlon today. I decided to just go for a little walk. I didn't want to not do anything. The legs are feeling a bit stiff and sore, so I thought I'd just do a little walk to record my final vlog here. So anyway, well, what an amazing day it was yesterday. I had a really fun workout with 6 folks coming out, and then just a really incredible breakfast and celebration at Losa, but I'll talk a bit more about that in a second. I thought I would just have had some requests that the wrap-up kind of cover some stuff, some questions that people still had, or cover more details about stuff. So I just wanted to start with the inception of the idea and helping out at Losa. So I talked about this a little bit at the breakfast, actually, that one of the ideas around this, of course, it's about ending homelessness, about supporting organizations that are creating safe places for people to be, but also there's an aspect of it around the focus on Indigenous homelessness, and why I picked that. So the organization does help anyone who comes through their doors, but obviously they have expertise in culture and have particular ways and practices that they can provide for people who want around Indigenous well-being. And so for me, having grown up here in London and seen a lot of anti-Indigenous racism, and even participated in that as a teenager, I've been on a whole journey of understanding, of learning, of growing, and finding reconciliation in my own personal ways as well. And so learned a lot over the past, especially the past couple years, but just building a as well in the community. And so the chance to work with an organization who I've always respected and who I've crossed paths with, hundreds of times over the years, but have never worked really closely with, was a huge opportunity. And so that was a great part of it, is to just think about not just that we need to do something around homelessness, but where do we also need to build specific focus and relationship. So that was kind of where the idea of the organization came from. In terms of the 30 triathlons in 30 days, it was really thinking about my ability to do any fundraising. As I've mentioned before on the vlogs, I don't move in a circle of millionaires or anything like that. So I know that my ability to raise funds is going to be different than like a hospital campaign or something where they've got all these major donors, and that really I'm going to have to try to go broad and do something that connects with just a ton of regular people who can all just give a small amount. And that's where the idea of like an initiative that has some kind of some kind of spark, some kind of inspiring elements to it came from. And so then, of course, my only particular talent apart from my work life is in triathlons, and that's where this idea of doing a whole ton of triathlons came from. And then it was a ton of it was just around logistics, right? So what time of year am I going to do this? How am I going to fit it into my daily schedule? Is it going to be inside? Is it going to be outside? At first I thought I was going to be splitting up the workouts and doing, a swim and a run in the morning, bike at night. How am I going to record the distance for the bike, etc., etc. So the first was wanting to do something around homelessness. Second, wanting to connect with at Losa in particular. Third was that idea that I could do triathlons, but to make it work in my life, it would have to be a bunch of kind of shorter distance ones, day after day. I just couldn't do some people do like a bunch of Ironmans in a row or something like that. I don't do long distance racing yet, and B, just would cut into my life too much. My work life is really busy right now. So that's kind of where the idea came from. And then really, when I reached out to the Y, and they said they would love to have this happen in their space. So shout out to the YMCA, who I forgot to thank in my breakfast yesterday. I'm so sorry. I'll send them an email. And it was a pretty moving, overwhelming thing, and I could have done better on my speaking notes that I did not prepare for that. Anyways, once the YMCA said they could accommodate me for this and would be happy to have me fundraising for someone else in their space, all the pieces kind of started to fall together for me. The sign up list was kind of like a bit of a last minute thought about having a sign up list where other people could come and join me for a day, or if you're Dan, Pa, or Zena, come and join me for 3 different days. And that ended up actually being such a big part of this. There were some real low points for me. I mentioned the lucky day 13, and that was physically, that and the day I got back from Vegas were physically the 2 worst. Except for when I got back from Vegas, I knew I only had like 6 days left or something like that. So it was easy to kind of get through that low point. Day 13, though, I knew I had a lot of days left to do, and that's when it was the worst. So having folks there, knowing day 14 people were going to be there waiting for me, that's what helped get me up and going that next day. So then it was just a matter of getting in and starting going. And one of the questions, again, as I know I did a day on nutrition, people asked a lot about that. I just weighed in this morning. I am down 1.5 pounds, which, considering I still had kind of 5 extra pounds of winter weight on, was not much of a loss. And honestly, I'm pretty sure that came off mostly just in that last week, with all the extra walking in Vegas, and then with going a little bit faster these last 2 days. And so it's not to me, weight loss, the biggest aspect in weight loss is volume and time rather than intensity. So since I was doing lower intensity, there wasn't a lot of calories being burned. So you actually, if you went and did a 3-hour walk at just like, a bit of a pace, you're burning a lot more calories than if you do like a 40-minute run. So time is a way bigger factor in how much calorie you're burning. You can only go so fast. So, you can sprint until you throw up and fall over, but you can only do that for, 5-minute full-on sprint, and you're not going to use a lot of calories, versus you can go on a gentle bike ride for hours and hours and hours and hours. So anyway, that's kind of it for the weight, which is the funny part is now I need to start thinking about my summer race season, which the big kickoff of that is Forest City Road Race in April. And I'm going to be have to lose about 4 pounds between now and then. So my normal spring weight cut, which would be like January, February, is going to have to happen now. So welcome back to the world of protein bars and tuna and apples for snacks. So back to the yesterday, I did go my fastest lead out, like the fastest swim where I was in the front. I've had a couple fast ones where Jordan or Ray were pulling me. But this one I led the swim and I did a 1:38 pace, so that's a solid one. And then on the bike I did 212 watts, which was my highest watts on the bike. Again, nothing kind of super big there. For any real bike nerds, my FTP right now is 296. So still a pretty gentle pace. And then the run, I wasn't sure because what we did is we decided to run outside because there's going to be a lot of people at different paces. There were seven of us. And so we did laps around the Y. And I wasn't sure, like, am I going to be social and talk with people, or am I just going to gun it? And I found kind of a happy medium, which was Dan was good for about a 4:30 pace. And that's all my legs could really do. I had gone a 4-minute pace the day before and was pretty toast. So it was kind of a perfect run for me. So then the breakfast after Atlosa was just mind-blowing. They gifted me with a ribbon shirt, which is an incredible honor. A gift for allies in the work, and something that really so they gave me the gift, and then I had to speak next. So of course I was pretty choked up going into my talk, and were just so kind. All the staff came out early, got up early to come to the breakfast ahead of their long day of hard work, and came up and thanked me and took pictures, and it just was really so honored, so touched, and really moved. Lots of damp eyes in the room during that, and of course giving the checkout was awesome. I will note at this point that the fundraiser, the GoFundMe, is still open, so you can still donate. And I did see, actually, after we presented our check for $15,500, since then another $400 of donations have come in, and the Snapped article just came out today, and then the CTV story again last night. So we're going to end up leaving that open to the end of March. And I had also had some people who just told me like they couldn't donate yet. So yeah, I'm quite sure we're going to get over 16,000 in the end here. So that was so awesome. So many kind of friends and supporters joining me for breakfast, which is really beautiful way to celebrate. And then, okay, so the final thing I'd like to say, and I know, oh gosh, I've gone on for 12 minutes here, and my arm's getting really tired holding my phone up, and people walking their dogs are giving me funny looks. So I will wrap up with what's next from here for me. So lots of people have been asking about that. So as I mentioned, I've got a busy race season coming up. Got some runs in the spring, and then we move right into cycling, racing, end of April, early May. And then the duathlon season kicks off late May. My big event is I'm racing the World Championships in Edmonton in August that I qualified for last year. So I want to be in tip-top shape for that. When I did the Worlds in Denmark, I just kind of went there to show up and have fun. This one I do want to kind of compete and see if I can land somewhere in the middle of the pack. I'm never going to podium in a world level race, but if I can kind of show up and be in the mix, that's what I want to do for this race. Something like a top 20 in the world would be amazing. And then other than that, I'm not going to take too much time off. As I mentioned, I'm just going for a gentle walk today, but I'll probably be in the pool by tomorrow. I don't do well not training. I only not train when I'm injured, and then I just get depressed and feel bad about myself. And so I'm sore today. So couldn't do much. But if I feel good tomorrow, I'll train tomorrow. If not, I'll start on Friday. So anyway, thank you so much for your support. Thanks for all the donations, for all the kind words, for sharing the GoFundMe, and we did it. We hit our goal. So thanks for following along with this journey, and couldn't have done it without everyone's support. Have a wonderful, happy day.